You're listening to the 808s and Joysticks podcast, now available on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, and iHeartRadio.
Welcome to 808s and Joysticks, the show that bridges the gap between games, music, season with pop culture. I'm Tyrell, and joining me today, as always, is Tom.
Yeah, and the day we're recording this, Monday the 22nd of July, it's George Clinton's birthday, so we both personally want to give a personal shout out to George Clinton for his birthday. If you don't know who George Clinton is, he's possibly one of the most influential musicians of all time. He was in the band, or helped make the bands Parliament and Funkadelic, and it's his Parliament Funkadelic collective which, you know, sort of influenced that funk music during the 70s, and it drew on sort of psychedelic culture, science fiction, stuff like that. A lot of hip-hop is influenced by that in the 90s as well, and that's come into like modern day as well. So if you like that sort of music and you've never heard of him before, or you've never listened to it, go check it out. And, you know, appreciate how far that's come to influence in the current music we listen to. And you know what? The man's 77, he's still going, and he's still making music right now. So fair play to him. But yeah, it's been not too busy with news this past few weeks.
It's been hard. It's been hard. And also, yeah, happy birthday to George Clinton. Very influential. Yeah, it's been really, really difficult to really find any news regarding around games, seeing as like E3 is like gone and went. Now everyone is focusing more solely on Comic-Con and all of the things that are coming out in terms of that, which is more film, animation, TV series. Only slightly a little bit of games are involved where there is crossover, but never really much to do with the gaming scene. Usually all to do with films, TV, animation, as I said before. And but we do have a few big pieces of news that we're just gonna kind of have a bit of a discussion about. This is much more of like a serious topics that we've got for this show, I would say. And we're just gonna start off with G2A. Now, we both know G2A. I'm assuming you definitely know G2A as well, Tom.
Yeah, personally, I don't buy anything from G2A, really. So
yeah,
I just want to put that out there.
We both know of GTA. I think you would know of GTA as a key reseller marketplace. Yeah, but except for basically it's kind of like a black market place to sell keys, and it's being exploited by scammers. It's exploited by people who get free keys and are supposed to be giving them out on giveaways, and instead they decide to sell them. People who do like key farming, and you know, they farm free keys and then they try and resell them on. It's just basically being exploited massively by people who are giving people a fair chance to actually buy an actual legitimate official game that they're just reselling because they don't need the key anymore, or they don't want to play the game. And yeah, a lot of the games and things that were obtained with illegal credit cards, the money needs to be basically replaced by the developer or the publisher, and that just literally takes it out of so many independent developers and publishers and whatnot are probably just thinking this is such an issue for them because they have to do chargebacks because it's credit card fraud, so they can't essentially do anything about it. So also it's just a bit of like a grey area because like it's a company that's based in Hong Kong. It's owned by two Polish guys, and it just, a lot of seedy shit has just come from it. Like, what? First and foremost, why is it based in Hong Kong? And then secondly, like, where's this connection come from? Like, that just seems a little bit dodgy in itself. And the fact that G2A knows that third-party links and things are being used to sell games that actually bypass Steam's terms of service, and basically GTA know it's happening and they don't really care about it because they make so much money from it. They just think that there's no need for them to bring up these third-party websites or take them down. That's just extra money that they have to spend then to take down these websites, although it is literally killing developers and it's killing publishers because they have to do all of these insane chargebacks. Imagine if someone bought 100 games, like 100 times of like your product of Steam, and tried to resell those keys, and then the credit card is reported as fraud. That is 100 times the amount coming back out of that company, especially if you're a little indie dev. That could be a massive amount that you needed to keep the lights on that month. Like, I just think it's really horrible, and I think that something needs to be done sooner than later, because people are just abused. They're just abusing it. Do you know what I'm saying? They're just abusing this now. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on everything? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, by the way, developers are saying that it's better to pirate their game than buy off G2A, and that is saying something, because pirating is the height of, like, you know, like, scumbag. Like, why are you pirating a game? Like, you shouldn't do it. You should support a game. But if developers are saying that they would rather that happen than buy off G2A, then I think we have a real issue.
Yeah, it's been like this for a good few years now. That's why personally I don't buy from sites like G2A, because I know, like you said, like the chargeback stuff. Basically, by saying I'd rather you pirate my game, they're saying, look, if you pirate our game, okay, you get our game for free. If you buy it off G2A, it might end up costing us money for you to buy the game, which makes no sense, because you're giving the money for a game, but they don't get any of that money. They have to then replace that money sometimes. Now, you know, it is known. I don't know why nothing's come to stop that. I don't know why people are trying to crack down on ROMs and stuff and Pirate Bay and stuff like that, but this isn't an issue that has been took up with the government or anything such as. It is a bit confusing, because the company obviously knows about all the stuff that's going on behind the scenes of, like, the market. I suppose because it's a marketplace, but then if you have a marketplace selling drugs online, for example, or pirated games, that would get took down. So why is this still allowed?
I'm about to say, if on eBay and Amazon there was listings being taken down for the PlayStation 4s that had PT still installed, Konami were taking those listings down. So it's not a thing where, like, that, and that's a game that was free and was just taken off the PlayStation Store, and people were trying to resell it on eBay, and it was taken down. So it just goes to show that, like, things like this aren't, people don't like it, and it's not acceptable. If a big company gets involved, they can get it all removed. But these little, like, developers and publishers, they don't have the manpower or the force to try and, like, you know, find a way how to make sure that their game isn't being sold illegally, or, like, being obtained in a way that is illegal, that will cause them issues and money problems, because they will have to do chargebacks on credit cards.
Mm-hmm. I think... Go on.
I was going to say, the fact as well that G2A has offered a solution, but they said that 100 devs must show interest before they even begin development of, like, a key blocking tool.
See, this is what I was going to say. It's not a solution. Mike Bithell, who is a very good game developer,
very, very, very good,
tweeted out a reply to them saying, perfect response in my opinion. He said, their tweet says, after intense scrutiny this past week, GTA has proposed a key blocking tool. 100 devs must now show interest before they begin development. It's important to note this proposed tool would not address all developer issues. Now, Mike Bithell replied to that, saying, I don't work for you. It's your job to protect the customers you sell and check keys to, not mine. Perfectly valid point. It's your job as a company that has a marketplace to protect the customers that are buying stuff on your marketplace, not the developers. If you buy something off eBay, you don't take up an issue with that company, you take up an issue with eBay. Because it's gone through them.
Exactly.
He's also said, I don't endorse or work with grey markets or folks that secretly pay for positive press, which has all been proven. GTA have previously had employees that have tried to pay people for positive press. And it's perfectly true. You know, why would he associate himself or his games with a grey or black market as such? There's no need for that. And then he's also said that bot farmed gift exploitation is the issue, not keys. And you know this, obviously, and I can confirm that is well known, because if you go on any of these key sites, you can buy keys and you can also buy Steam gifts. What will happen is, if you buy a game as a gift, sometimes you have to have a Russian VPN, and it'll tell you on the site if you need a Russian VPN so you can receive the Steam gift, and you have to activate it with your VPN active. And they give you instructions on how to do that on the site. I should point out, the site that is selling G2A and companies like that, key sites, they give you step-by-step instructions on how to activate that Steam gift using a VPN.
You see what I mean? Shit like that just shouldn't be, that shouldn't be allowed. How is that not illegal?
Exactly. Well, it is, but somehow it's not.
It's because it's like a grey area, isn't it?
It's not been picked up by anything, because even though it's illegal, it's a digital sale, and there's an area that's sort of not controlled, and I think that's the problem. It's not controlled enough, and companies like this are just exploiting that.
It's just
loophole.
Because like we as like a community are just so, sometimes we're just really silly when we like do things like we don't have any regulation, and all this regulation is coming in for games now, like, and they're trying to really regulate it, and there's a side of the industry that don't want government regulation to be brought in place because they feel like it will crack down on like our art and things like that. And I'm like, yeah, I do understand why you'll be scared about government regulation, but at the same time, what are we going to do? Like, these companies are literally taking the piss out of us now. Like, they're just exploiting people over and over. Like, they're making so much money off these like keys, and they never ever have to do any kind of refund or chargeback, but all these developers have to, because it's their game and that's come through and it's been brought on a licensed website like Steam, and it's being resold on a key website. I just think something needs to be done. Like, definitely needs to be like regulated, and I don't think that because the government's getting involved in trying to regulate it totally means that they're going to be oppressing art now or anything. Like, I'm sorry, kind of have to get over yourself if you really think that, be like, you know, the exploitation of dev. If there is no games devs, yeah, there's no games. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you going to make? All these devs are going to go broke now. Like, I think that like it is time for us to have serious conversations, and like, I don't know who the figureheads in the gaming industry are or on this side, but I think we just need to start having some leaders or something, or like trying to do something like a union or something of like people who can represent like the industry to say like, yo, this is going on. We need to make sure that this doesn't happen. Like, this is an exploitation of not only the customer, but also the developers and the publishers, like, by this one company who clearly don't give a shit about anyone except for themselves. They don't care about games. They don't care about the customer. They don't care about developers who makes the games. They just care about money.
Yeah, here's the thing. Many people have tweeted about this. Mike Rose, who is a developer and publisher as well, he said that while the key blocking initiative is a nice gesture, and if implemented may actually be very useful, it's just yet another example of GTA publicly making some positive sounding noise to glaze over the fact that they're not actually addressing the issue.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like they're just putting out like smoke and mirrors, like, oh, hey guys, like look at how good like we look right now, like doing this. I'm just like, yeah, you've done this because it's time now for you to say that, oh, after scrutiny, after so much pressure, we've finally decided to put a key blocking in, but only if 100 devs sign up to say that they're interested.
It's been a well-known issue in the gaming industry for many years now. People have tweeted saying there's tons of sellers using bots to sell games, using dodgy third-party links on G2A, which is actually completely bypassing Steam's terms of service, and they know that that's happening, and are basically purposely ignoring it.
That's what I mentioned earlier. I said that, they're basically ignoring illegal activity just because it's a grey area. Like, because it's not them violating Steam's terms of service, it's okay for them. That's what I'm saying. It's just a bunch of legal loopholes that they're getting through. And also that I don't like the fact that their company is set in Hong Kong, because I feel like they can't be held accountable then, can they, really? Because they're not an American-based company, and they're not a UK-based company, and they're not in the EU. So I'm not sure, but that's what I feel. I feel like that's why they're a
lot of those companies are based around Hong Kong. The key companies. That's what I know.
I wonder what kind of law they have over there that helps them.
I think there's 3 or 4 that I know of that are based in or near Hong Kong. But I mean, the final sort of nail in the coffin for this for me is that they do allow developers already to flag 2 kinds of keys up. One which are given away for reviews, and one which are given away for giveaways, which you've mentioned earlier. But it does say in their terms of service for G2A that it will allow only 3 sales of giveaway keys per reseller account. So they understand that people are doing this, but they'll allow it just 3 times. Which to me is just complete stupid. Like, you're telling developers they have to block those keys, but you'll allow it 3 times because, well, if you do it 3 times, then you just make money off it. But what's stopping those people from making a new account every time they sell when they've run out of 3 times? There's nothing in place to do that. So they're not stopping that at all. They're just putting something in place to back themselves up to look better. But really, they know that there's a loophole around it, and they know people know how to get around it. So they're not. It's basically like building a house out of straw. You know, you're building that wall there out of straw and saying, "Oh, wouldn't it be a shame if someone went through that wall?" You know, you build a wall out of brick. It's a lot harder to get through it. You build a wall out of shit. You know, someone's going to get through it easily, and you just go, "Oh, what a shame! Look at that, they've got through it. I suppose we'll have to think of something else now." Like,
let's just patch it up with more shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to work. You just seen what happened.
it is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it is stupid. Probably just to sort of end it off, I'd want to say that, like, if you follow anyone, publicly, any podcast shows, YouTube channels, gaming channels, streamers, stuff like that are sponsored by GTA and take that sponsorship money, or any other key sites, just make it known to them that, you know, they're not supporting the games industry by doing that. I understand that it's their job and stuff, but the thing is, it's not going to be your job if there's not the games there to play. So you have to be clever about that. You can't support something that is going against the industry that gives you the chance to have the opportunity you are working in. Make them aware of that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, now is more so as ever. Like, everybody, like, there's not a lot of a excuse Like, say for example, if you're doing something that you know for a fact is just fucked up and is just morally wrong, there isn't much of an excuse now. Like, because there's so much information out there, you can read upon yourself and make your own opinion to know what is fucked up. And what GTA is doing is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know why people can't even see that in themselves, that I shouldn't be getting sponsored by this person or shouldn't accept this sponsorship money. But as I said, yeah, it's a job. Some people have, that's their morals. I don't align with their morals, but if they want to accept G2A money, just know that this is a company that is literally killing people's livelihoods. So I just want to put that out there. And yeah, that's it really. Nothing more to say about G2A except for don't use their site. Don't use any of those kind of key resellers. I don't know if there's actually a legit one out there, but I'm pretty sure all of them do the same shit. So I think maybe some websites might be a bit different. Who knows? But
there are some legit key selling websites, but what you'll tend to find is the sites that sell keys. A good example off the top of my head, something like Green Man Gaming for Football Manager. Now, they say that they're partnered with them, so they're an official partner site that you can go and buy the game off. So if you are going to buy a key, just check the developer's website. They'll probably give a link to stores that you can buy it on, and those will be stores that they condone, that have, they've gave the keys or sold the keys to that store to sell on.
Mm-hmm.
So the best thing to do, always check the website of the game or the developer, and they'll have all the information there normally. But talking about sort of, we spoke about Steam terms of service and keys, and how we've moved into this digital place of everyone buying stuff digitally, and there being so many games and small developers now. Steam is like we've spoken about it many times, how packed full it is of games, and how hard it is to find a game, or how hard it is to find the right game. You get suggested random stuff you don't really care about, or that you definitely would never play. And they're launching something now called Steam Labs, which is like their experiments. They just launched a new thing called micro trailers, and I don't get the point in it. It's a 6-second trailer that is based on all the other trailers of a game to help you buy a game, but I don't understand how it's helping me buy a game.
Yeah, exactly. The reason why I actually put these on the show notes in the first place is just because I just thought to myself, like, is this what Steam's trying to do to make them seem like they're much more of an interesting platform to use? Because this isn't what people are asking for.
This doesn't change anything. All it does is
that's
just
what I'm
give
saying.
me
It doesn't, because apparently the Steam Lab, there's all the tools are being collected in the area, and apparently it might not even be sticking around for that long because it's in an experimental phase. But all I can see really is that it highlights specific games in detailed ways. It kind of makes it more like a kind of like the Wii shopping channel, kind of a little bit. I just don't think this is what people were asking for when they said they wanted Steam to improve. We're not asking for. They're talking about, we want Steam to improve their payouts for developers. We want Steam to just look more updated. I'm not asking for an interactive recommender. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I already get... Okay, machine learning predicts games you'd like based on your library. Cool. But
not yet, but at the same time,
surely that's what YouTube and Reddit and stuff do. And also, the amount of shit I get recommended at the moment anyway. You log into Steam, I have about 13 different fucking advertisements when I log in to tell me what games have come out this week. Oh, this is on discount, cool. Then you go to your homepage on the store, and there's 70 different advertisements for games that you might like. I don't need more recommendation. I've got enough recommendations. I don't need more. I don't know who wants more recommendations. Okay, there might be better recommendations.
It's funny as well because I've just gone on there. It's not that great of an experiment because I've just gone on the Steam Labs website and I'm hovering over things and the 6-second trailers are not working for me.
They work for me. They do work, but I don't know. It just doesn't.
It just this seems stupid. Like it just seems like you've just chucked a bunch of like indie games. Like free games and indie games, some really shit games, and like quite high level AAA games, and just like all threw it together in one thing. And we're like, hey, just pick it. Like, there's some really fucking bad games in here. Like, why the hell would I want to play a Five Nights at Freddy free game where it looks like all you do is like you have to throw pizzas at people? Why would I want to play that? This is what I mean by Steam. It's shit. There's just shit everywhere.
I should like. Okay, I'll give it this. The interactive recommender tool does recommend games that are similar to games that you play. But also, these games get recommended anyway. And I should point out, a lot of these games are on my wish list, so it's not as if I haven't found the games myself before. There's no games on here that I haven't heard of. If I go all the way to niche, still games that I've heard of. So I don't know. We're gonna have to see what this goes. That could be a decent tool to use for recommending random stuff.
Well, I just want to tell Valve already that the page doesn't work in Safari, so you need to fix it, Valve.
That should have been tested.
Exactly. The page, like, I've just gone on the automatic show and the video doesn't even play. So, like, what's this about? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm also I've gone on experiment 2 and that also doesn't work.
The third experiment. Okay.
Is that work for you?
Yeah, it does work. But I just want to give the description of it. It's number 3, an automatic show, an automated show about games. Now, the description says, what if Steam could magically generate a show about the latest and greatest games each day? The automatic show is like one of those cable shopping channels without the super absorbent cloths or whatever they sell. But who's spending half hour each day watching the Steam automatic show to find out what games are on there? Like, I know what games I want. I'll go and look for that game. And if I don't find it, okay, it's not there. I don't want it. Like,
it's just stupid.
I don't know if I really want.
Are you reading some of the Are you reading the web page? Like, have you read it?
Yeah, I don't want. I don't want a Nintendo Direct every day. Oh, okay, this is new to Steam today. This is new to, like, there's enough shit on there anyway. It doesn't need more shit. It
even said, like, the voiceover in that mock-up is human, but the voiceover script is sourced entirely from text that's available on the Steam store pages. In theory, this is meant that the automatic show could both write and voice the entire show. However, the in-text-to-speech test, the computer-generated voice we used sounded a little stilted, so we tabled that for a bit. We're working on that, though. So they're basically looking for a fucking bot to, like, basically advertise for them and do their job, because Valve's become that big that they can't focus on actually doing Steam anymore. Because what else do they do except for not make anything? It's a joke.
No, they did make a game.
You're not talking about that fucking card game?
Yeah, is it? I can't remember what it's called.
What, Dota cards or something like that? I know they've got, like, Valve made one of those auto chess games. Those are like, that's the new genre that it's like in right now, isn't it? Like,
I'm not sure.
I feel like they've got an auto chess game. I feel like they do.
Dota chess started it, I believe.
There you go, Dota chess.
But that started it.
Which was a mod, by the way.
I should point out, Artifact, the last game that they published and made it's based upon the Dota 2 universe anyway. And there's the original game that was released in November 2018, and I do believe it is now either being pulled or just stop supporting it already. So that's gone well.
I don't like what Valve is doing because they do too much for a company to have things they do too little, for a company to say that they want things to be automated more, because they're saying that right now the automatic show bot is a black obelisk that sits in Boston, Massachusetts. So I'm guessing, are they using something from MIT then, maybe? I don't know.
Don't know.
And we'll only generate an episode when someone speaks a complex series of prime numbers into its electronic ears. That's just really, really stupid. I don't know why they explained it that way. And it's mostly automated, but requires a human to kick it off. So what? So if it breaks, then the show breaks, basically.
Okay, right. Let me get to the point. Steam needs a UI overhaul.
Yep.
A search overhaul.
Yep.
And it just needs cleaning up. Because there's too much stuff on it and it's just dirty.
We don't need this automated we don't need these experiments they're coming out with. They're not good.
it just needs cleaning. It's
really
so dated.
Good.
It's so packed full of stuff. Yeah, the UI is not good. It's just not, and it could definitely be improved. So, if they're gonna go anywhere, they need to do that. They need to update the UI and stop focusing on this random shit. It's not needed. Do that in the background after you've done the UI update. I don't know. It feels like it needs an entire overhaul and built from the ground up, and they're just going, oh, what would happen if we just add some more stuff on top of it? Exactly, nothing's going to happen. You're just going to add more shit to it that it doesn't need. But we'll see. We'll see in a few years if Epic gain more control of the market share, and then it might kick them to actually do something. I don't know. That does actually lead on quite nicely to our next topic, though. Talking about market share and companies getting kicked. So,
yeah, we get into the big one now.
The big one.
Yeah. Also, the Steam Lab thing. Yeah, totally. I agree with everything that you said. It needs a UI overhaul and everything. I just don't know why they're focusing on this. They could have easily done this secretly in the background. You're all right. The UI overhaul and that was so much more important. Search system so much more important. Cleaning up the homepage and making that look much more better. Integrating things in a much more better way. As I said, paying developers better fee, seeing as Valve's got all this money to throw around and make AI bots to run shows every day. Why are they not paying developers more money? I just Valve. Just Valve. Ugh. Yes.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, big news is if you're a fan of sports gaming, which I am, I follow this very closely. I actually sat wearing an England football top right at the moment while recording this. Not that we're any good at football, but it's interesting to note that EA has been on top of sports gaming and football for many years now. I personally am a PES player, but I do play FIFA, which is the EA game. And PES has always been known for having fake teams as such because there's license agreements between FIFA and the leagues. Now, FIFA's basically had exclusive control of licenses for the likenesses and branding of many leagues and football teams for a long time, and they've been increasing that year upon year of exclusivity to the point where they're basically trying to lock Konami out of the sports franchise forever. They did this with NFL. 2K made an NFL game, and EA just sort of went, fuck this, we're buying the exclusive rights to the NFL because we can't have a better game going up against us. We'll just offer them shitloads of money and get the exclusive license so no one else can make a game with the actual logos. And it worked because there's only one Madden game left, but it's a pile of shit. Now, that didn't happen with basketball games, and look who's winning on top of that one, 2K. You know? And, you know, it's known that NBA Live is complete trash. I'm not going to doubt that. NBA Live is complete trash.
NBA Live is complete trash. Like, it had its moments where, like, it could have been a better game than 2K, because let's not get it right. Like, 2K has got its bullshit in it. It's got a lot of bullshit in 2K, but that's just because it's kind of like the FIFA out of the basketball game, so it can do other shit. Like, it can get away with bullshit that NBA Live would have been doing the same shit if they were the one on top. You know what I mean? So, I think just PES as a game, it just seems to care much more about football as a game rather than packs and fucking teams and shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, I felt like it really focuses so much more on the gameplay, and over the years, you as a diehard PES fan telling me about how much the game has changed and all the balancing and the Fox engine, when that got introduced, that was a really exciting time, because obviously I'm a massive Kojima fan, and to see that the engine was going to be used in PES now, I thought, wow, that's amazing. But I just think that it's time now. I think this is going to be the time where PES might be the one to just take the jump, like, because I feel like people will want to play PES and they can see that it's a much better football game than FIFA, and they'll be like, oh damn, I didn't know I could buy a game and actually think it's better and enjoy it just because, wait, it's the same Ronaldo. Oh man, like, what have I been doing? I've been playing myself all these years, not buying PES because I thought that I needed to have the same kit as my friend. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like it should be less about that and more about the fact that the game is better. Like, I hate when people say to me, oh, how can I play with, like, I can't remember what the example is. Like, what did they used to call, like,
Manchester Reds.
Like, Manchester Reds and shit like that. How can I play with that? Or, like, remember they used to call Arsenal or something like...
North London.
Yeah, North London Red and North London White for Tottenham. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. I never cared as a kid. Like, I just used to think, same team, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care about it if it's don't look like the person. Also, by the way, like, you can download the texture packs for all the people and all the kits yourself.
You don't need,
do you know what I mean? Like, that's just
don't need people. People are included in FIFA Pro license, so both games have all the real people and have done for many years.
Yeah, for many years.
The only thing is the kits and the league branding. But you can download something called an option file, like you just said, which if you're on console, plug it into a USB, and away you go. Within 15 minutes, you've got everything licensed. So it's not really a big difference.
It's not a big difference. It's just that some people just are not willing to do shit like that, are they? Like, whereas we are, because we're such dedicated, like, we're just such dedicated gamers that we would want to have, if I can do something like that, if I can modify my game, or if I could do something to a point where I thought, oh, that's going to enhance my, like, experience, then I will. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's, you're not going to get that with everyone, though. Some people will just see the game like, oh, it hasn't got the license in there. I don't really quite understand how to install them. Fuck it, I'm going to buy FIFA instead. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand that, but hopefully now PES gets more of the accolades and all the licenses and stuff, we'll start to see, wait, PES looks like to be the much more lucrative option right now. They don't have this backlash on their tail right now with the loot boxes and the packs. Maybe we should move to PES. Like, and I think
they do that. I must point out they do sell stuff through my club, but they also offer their My Club experience, which is the equivalent of Ultimate Team. They offer that as a free version on every store every year. So if you want to play that game mode, you don't have to buy the game up front. So, you know, maybe you want to play that game mode, but you don't want to spend $60 or $80 to then play that game mode. You just download it for free and then you spend your money how you wish to spend your money.
And that's the beauty of it. Like, you know what? It's a free game, and you decide if you want to put the money into it. At the end of the day, it's not a thing where, like, you know, where you have to buy the game just to use Ultimate Team. Like, Ultimate Team isn't a separate thing that you can. I think you can use Ultimate Team online, I think, for free, but you still have to have an EA account. And also, you can't do that. Can you not? You can't use Ultimate Team.
Mobile version, but not console version.
See, there you go then.
Or PC.
There's no point. Like, at least then with my club, you can do that, and it's free and it's totally separate. Whereas, like, Ultimate Team, yeah, I guess where you essentially have to buy a new FIFA every year to keep it with Ultimate Team.
Mm-hmm. So you should point out that the reason we're talking about this is because Juventus signed an exclusive deal this week. One of the biggest teams in the world, the biggest team in Italy, and
got the biggest player in the world on their team as well.
Yeah,
arguably, like technically he is really one of.
It doesn't matter anyway because Barcelona are also partnered with PES, so the two biggest players in the world are partnered with PES. Now, Juventus are exclusive to PES. Barcelona aren't exclusive to PES, as the La Liga license allows them to be in FIFA, but their stadium has always been exclusive to PES for the last 4 years now. And it's something that FIFA fans have moaned about.
That's an amazing stadium as well, so you would want that in the game.
Yeah, it's something FIFA fans have moaned about. But, you know, eFootball Pro Evolution Soccer 2020, the full name of it, which is a bit of a mouthful, but they have signed an exclusive agreement with Juventus this year for the foreseeable future, for about 3 years probably. And it does mean that Juventus can no longer appear in FIFA. And this is the first time, really, that a big club of this stature... Now, Napoli have done it before. They've not appeared in FIFA, but that wasn't an exclusive deal with PES. Now that Juventus have done it and it's exclusive to their rival PES, it's definitely threw up a lot of things. They're now going to be known as Piemonte Calcio in FIFA instead of Juventus. They can't call them Juventus, but they will have all the real players. They just can't use any of the branding, kits, logos, anything like that, or the stadium. So
Piemonte Calcio. I'm laughing, yeah, because like all these EA fans, like all the FIFA fans are kicking off, yeah. But I'm like, yo, this is what everyone in PES had to deal with for years. Like, we all had to deal with teams that didn't have the real name. I don't understand why it's funny now, innit? Because I'm laughing at it because I just think all of you lot are crying about it when literally you used to say like, oh, like FIFA fans used to diss PES fans for not having the real names, and now you have the biggest team in the world. It doesn't have your name anymore, like, on there. So
it should be pointed out that statistics showed that the most used team on FIFA last year, on FIFA 19, was Juventus. So yeah. They've lost the most used team on their game.
And their value dropped by 660 million, which means that their shares dropped by 3.2%, which is pretty significant for like EA. Like, I know 3.28% isn't too much, but
it's not that much.
It's not that much, but still though, the execs will not be happy about that, will they? Like, that's money out of their pocket right there. Like 660 mil. You know what EA how EA feels about business and being like a corporate giant. Like 3.2% isn't good. So,
So that 3 years Juventus won't be in FIFA, 3 whole years, which is it never really happened before, and it's a nice turning point, really, in this battle between EA and Konami, because Konami have always lost out of that because they can't keep up with the money that EA has. Now they've got an exclusive deal. It's sort of a one-up on FIFA in a way. Now FIFA has many, many positive things and many more licenses still. Fair enough, but that little one-up shows that it doesn't matter how big EA are, if they sit back on their laurels, they've took advantage of this now, and this could be a turning point for the franchise again, and PES could be out on top like it was in the PS2 days. Now, it's going to be very hard to take FIFA off their perch, but having things like this, getting the rumoured Serie A license, which PES have apparently done, so they'll be the only football game with a fully licensed Serie A, that's starting to edge into what FIFA will do. Now, there's 2 ways this can go. FIFA were originally the people that started this whole war with licenses. PES got the license for La Liga in 2014, I believe, or 2013, had all the stadiums and everything in it. Then FIFA bought out exclusive licenses for La Liga and didn't put any of the stadiums in. They just bought it for the sake of, we can buy this off you, so we're going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. They were being a corporation and trying to like strong arm PES out of the football game, and this is what. And then they're trying to produce a mediocre football game as well. Like from the time when we're hearing from friends and people who aren't necessarily, they're not hardcore gamers, so FIFA and the odd 1 or 2 other release that year will be the extent of what they play. So like they are starting to see that FIFA hasn't changed over the last few years. They're starting to they're like, FIFA really is the same. Like, I'll just buy it every year because the licenses and shit like that. I'm like, seriously, you pay £60 every year just because you want to see a couple man run around that you happen to in the right kit. Like, I just didn't understand.
Yeah, the important thing to note for this is that the FIFA subreddit, of which there's 250,000 people in the FIFA subreddit compared to about 70,000 in the PES subreddit. Now, there was 250,000 people in the FIFA subreddit were actually celebrating PES getting the license for Juventus, and a lot of the comments were, that's exactly what EA needed. They needed a kick up the ass. They needed something to show them that they're not just winning everything. Because they obviously, even the fans, the dedicated fans of your game aren't happy with it. Like, okay, I play FIFA still, it's got some good aspects about it, but yeah, there is different things that it could improve on. So could PES, PES isn't the perfect game, but no one gives it a chance because of the licensing issues, and everyone says, oh, well, they don't have that, and then they have the audacity to come out and say, oh, well, some people are saying, I think this is disgraceful from PES. They shouldn't be doing this. They shouldn't be having exclusivity for a team like this. It's not fair.
Exactly.
Well, what do you think the company that owns the game that you play has been doing for the last... Why do you think those teams aren't allowed in the other game? It's not because they can't afford it. It's because of exclusive license agreements. FIFA has the Bundesliga on lockdown until 2024. La Liga on lockdown until 2023. The Premier League on lockdown until 2023.
Like, look at that shit. You got none of those leagues are even allowed in PES. Like, come on.
And also, I should point out, the 3 teams that have just partnered with PES, Juventus, Bayern Munich, and Manchester United, Juventus is exclusive to PES, and the stadium is. Bayern is not exclusive to PES because the Bundesliga license allows them to be in FIFA.
Games. Yeah.
And that means that the only thing that is exclusive to PES is the Allianz Arena, their stadium. And Manchester United are not exclusive to PES either because the Premier League license allows them to be in there. And the deal FIFA signed with the Premier League for exclusivity, of the Premier League, also means that the stadium can't be exclusive to PES because FIFA also own all the rights for all the stadiums in the Premier League through that contract as well. So they are basically tried to do a monopoly to lock people out of the industry.
Yeah, but they can't because
a football sports game.
Because what the looks of it is that it sounds like they made a deal with the league, but it doesn't stop teams from making their own deals.
The Serie A license is different because it doesn't cover any teams in the league. Each team. So in the Bundesliga, Premier League, and La Liga, the license covers the teams in the leagues. Now, the Serie A license allows you have to negotiate with every team individually, and the Serie A license only covers the branding, which is the same as the Champions League license. You don't get any of the teams in the Champions League, you just get the branding for the Champions League.
Yeah. I understood that about the Champions League because it's just teams from basically every league then, innit? So
yeah.
But Serie A, I didn't think they would do that for that.
Mm-hmm. So the important thing to point out is PES has always had they had every single team from Serie A last year, apart from Juventus, because the three teams that have just signed with PES that I've just spoke about, Manchester United, Bayern Munich, and Juventus, were all available in FIFA within the last 3 years, and not available in PES because they signed exclusive rights to that. Now, FIFA had the Juventus license anyway. We've had Juventus in both games before. FIFA had the Bayern Munich license because they get it through the league license, which they've got on lockdown. And they get the United license because they have it through the Premier League license because they've got that on lockdown. Now, why there's a need to secure exclusive rights to that team when they already have the license is beyond me, because they don't gain any benefit from that. The only benefit they gain from that is by locking out a competitor. And that's the only reason they sign those deals. The same reason they've just signed Liverpool after they won the Champions League, because their contract had finished. The same reason last year FIFA offered Dortmund a ludicrous amount of money to pull out of their contract with PES early, and actually, they actually pulled out of a legally binding contract and ripped it up because they got offered more money by FIFA to jump ship, and that meant that PES was left with one less license right at the end of, just before launch.
I remember that Dortmund shit. That was fucked. I couldn't believe Dortmund did that.
This is the game was promoting
Dortmund. I remember. Yeah,
they were promoting the game using licenses and branding from that club, and then that club pulled out and they had to remove everything like that because they'd gone to a competitor because they'd been offered more money. So it's alright saying it shouldn't be exclusive, and I totally agree it shouldn't be exclusive. They should agree to have them in both games and people make a fair decision.
This is funny, as because some of the people who were trying to take this high road would be the same ones who were that would be pissed off about Epic having exclusivity, but I've been okay with FIFA having exclusivity for all these years. Do you know what I mean? I just don't understand. They literally throw licenses around all the time. They take licenses from people. They make people come out of their legally binding contracts just because. Do you know what I'm saying? Just because they're EA.
Because they can. Yeah, because they can. And it benefits their, the biggest thing about FIFA is the licenses. That's the biggest thing about it.
EA, evil agency. That's what I call them.
But, the fact that they've done all that, and then, you know, people have the audacity to go around and say that, it really, you know, if you're gonna go around and say stuff like that, do your research. You know, there's a lot of shit that goes around about PES that isn't true. Like, they don't have the player names and this and that. Like, that's why people don't even bother to look at it, because they're just like, I want to play that. Everyone else says that. All my friends say that.
The most ludicrous shit I've heard
is real.
Oh, you don't have the real players in the game. I was just like, if anything, it's using the Fox engine, so don't ever disrespect Kojima like that again. It's probably one of the best engines to date. Like, it's still one of the best engines ever created. So I don't even know why you even say that. Like, the players don't look like them. And yes, they do. They are in the game. They are very much in the game, and they are much better than FIFA. So,
yeah,
what are we talking about?
The scans for the players in PES 2020 on all the partner clubs are insanely good.
They're incredible.
Like, insanely good.
That the game just gets more incredible year upon year. Like, graphically, it looks so impressive. Like, everything has got so much more impressive. Like, the lighting has got more impressive. Even though we already knew the Fox engine had amazing lighting from the get-go, like, that was the main thing that Kojima focused on when he was co-developing this engine. Everything about the engine it's just amazing. Like, it makes the game look so much more realistic. And to think that people actually think that there's players missing, there's like, you don't have like the right kits. Apparently, like, just the game's just shit. I've heard that lots of times. Like, I'm just like, wow, the game's just shit. I was like, I've seen FIFA being played for the last 10 years now, and it's looked the same.
I mean,
okay, not totally the same, but
I understand what you're saying. There's been limited changes in both games. However, you've seen more of a drastic improvement in PES because of the fact that it's so underrated, you could say. But also, now they're picking up licenses and stuff, they're getting more attention. Like, it proves that they're getting more attention. This is the first time that the game has got massive publicity compared to FIFA. Like, drastically. The last time it gets publicity like this is before the game comes out and everyone just says 10 reasons why to buy FIFA over PES. Or, you know, oh, PES is coming out this year, it looks good, but it's no FIFA. The reason that they've done this is a massive PR stunt to say, look, we mean business, we have a good game, we've got one of the best clubs in the world, and they wanted to be exclusive with us because they know we care about them, rather than just doing it for the sake of locking it out from other people. Okay, it's exclusive and it should be shared between people, but you can't start a war and not expect someone to fight back at some point, you know. And FIFA,
I'm not gonna lie,
didn't do that.
Yeah, EA's all cool and everything, yeah, but Konami is very wealthy as well. So, like, if they really wanted to, like, fight this license war, I don't think Konami's got an issue, you know, with fighting the license war.
They don't, because it's PES Productions, it's a different area, so they don't have as much, but
Konami would still give them money if they needed it. It's Konami, that's their parent company, isn't it?
No, it's weird. It's not the same, but it should be pointed out that in recent years, due to the success of PES Mobile, mainly in Arabian countries and Asian countries, PES has drastically increased its revenue. So, while they're still not on the same level as EA, they have a bit more money to throw about now in this battle.
Konami is way more highly valued than EA is. It's got like 10 more billion on top of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, if Konami actually wanted to do something, they could, but they're
not really focusing on that at the moment.
You know,
no, they're not.
No.
Yeah.
But, you know, PES is making its own money now through mobile, and it's very successful on mobile. And, you know, that money adds up. You know, they've got free versions, they've got mobile versions. people don't have to buy the game to spend money on it anymore, and that works for them as a business model. So, there's no reason why they can't reach a point where they are on equal par with EA. There's also no reason why these licenses can't be shared ever. But with FIFA locking stuff out until 2023, 2024, it's one of those things that it may never end. We could start seeing clubs go to certain games exclusively anyway. I think the first people to actually get clubs exclusively in the game was FIFA anyway, with Juventus, United and Bayern Munich, just to take them away from PES. But, it does come back around. It has come back around, and it is a big change. So I'm looking forward to PES 2020, or eFootball PES 2020 as it's now called. It's looking very promising this year. If you are interested in playing that, then the demo for that will be out in 8 days on the 30th of July on PC, PS4 and Xbox. I should point out for this demo as well that PES are releasing, it includes offline play.
That's sick.
Online play. In fact, I'm just going to double check this because I feel like if I don't double check, I might get the facts wrong. So, the demo does include offline play, online play, and edit modes in the demo. So, you can edit certain leagues in the demo, play online in the demo, and play offline in the demo. And it features 14 clubs. So, that's a pretty impressive demo for the 30th of July as well. They're in a position where they're saying, this is the game we've got on the 30th of July, 4 months before release. This is what we've got. Here's all the clubs you can play with. Go play online as well. Test the online mode out to check that the online mode's okay for you. And also you can check the edit mode out as well. So you can actually edit all those teams into game. And then when you get the game, all that data carries over. So if you don't have the licenses for the Spanish league, edit them in the demo. Once you put your game in on the first day you get it, they're already there licensed for you.
You're already going to have them. Yeah, that's true.
There's no excuse for that license issue anymore because of that. And the fact that you can test the online out as well is, a really good benefit for a demo, because online play is important. So, important in football games anyway. So it's there to test out in the demo. You don't have to buy the game to do that. And, if you don't want to do that, you can get my club when it comes for free. FIFA, you have to pay $60 to do any of that. You can't test the game out without paying for it online. You can't play my club without paying for it to go online to pay for more stuff. So,
Yeah, exactly. It's all just give and take. Just give PES a try. If you're a FIFA fan, give PES a try. Keep an eye out for it. If you're a Juventus fan, it's probably better off to get PES if you want to play as them. That's about it, really. EA just can't. It's time now, and it's time for EA to be held accountable. And I think it's time for their reign to be over. Unless they're gonna start producing good games and start actually not messing about people and actually, trying to do good things for gamers and not putting in so much microtransactions and whatnot. But anyway, we're gonna swiftly move on to the films and TV section because we do not have a lot of time at all. We spent a lot of time in the gaming section. By the way, it's a lot of more heavier, serious topics. So if you feel like it's a bit too serious, you can just go ahead. It's all good. I know it's a much more serious topics that we was trying to get into there. But shifting on to the films and TV, it's a little bit more lighthearted, a bit more Yeah, I'd say it's a bit more happy. Yeah, he's definitely more happy. It's only news and announcements. I don't really hear anything that's really bad. But as I said, time is running out, so we'll get down to it right now. So basically, Comic-Con. Yeah, a lot of things happened at this year's Comic-Con.
San Diego Comic-Con, probably the best one, the biggest one.
Yeah, essentially, there's just so much that was just announced. I'm just gonna go through a little article that was done by Gizmodo that went down on some of the biggest news, and then we're also gonna take you a little bit more of like a in-depth look at Phase 4 for Marvel and some of the other trailers and stuff that we felt that have that caught our eye, such as like the Rick and Morty trailer, some of the comments from Justin Roiland about Rick and Morty and how the series is going to go on from season 4. But yeah, starting off with some of the bigger announcements. So I'm not going to really do a little stop and explain. I'm just going to say them. So we've got some new concept art, reveals the first look at Black Widow's Taskmaster. So yeah, basically, I feel like if it's Taskmaster, who I know who it is, it's like Taskmaster's like, it's hard to explain who Taskmaster is. He's a character who's essentially supposed to be, I'm sure, a villain, but I'm thinking he could be a good guy as well. I'm not quite sure. I have to do some more research on that. Supergirl is still ongoing. I didn't even know. Season 5 is happening, and there's going to be new arrivals and a major exit if you're interested in Supergirl. Obviously, we have Blade, and Mahia Shala Ali is going to be Blade. And I think it's a little bit sad that Wesley is not going to have anything to do with it, because he did have a lot of interest. Like, he did express a lot of interest in reprising as Blade, or he's even written treatments and scripts for Blade films, and he was really interested and was waiting for just Marvel or Disney or anyone to call him. So I am a little bit sad. I'm hoping they can introduce or like maybe this might be like new Blade and like Wesley's like old Blade, and we can have like a little multiverse thing going on. I'm hoping to see something like that. Seeing as it is a part of the Phase 4 of the MCU now. So we may see Blade being incorporated into more films. So yeah, I'm interested. Apparently there was too much news about Star Trek. And there's a new Discovery Season 3. There's a new one for Picard. They did say that Picard is going to be the new show, but apparently it's going to focus on life after being on the ship. I'm not a big Star Trek fan, so I don't know much, so I don't want to get things wrong and start upsetting everyone. And the return of an animated Star Trek series. Bloody blah. Don't want to hear about The Walking Dead. It's boring. Long time coming. Really, this is all the stuff that's going to be slated for Phase 4, which I said we will get into more in depth. Marvel's The Internals are Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek, Richard Madden, Don Lee, Brian Tyree Henry, shout out to the boy, Paper Boy, getting that paper, Kumail Nanjiani, and a lot more, which is pretty interesting. That pretty interesting cast of people there, I have to say. And
there's
what else is down there as well? I'm just taking a look down on the list. Yeah, there's more Marvel stuff.
There's some animated stuff, animated news that's come out of Comic-Con, which is big one for us, really. Probably a big one for many people as well. Is that Archer is going to be renewed for season 11. So it was meant to end after season 10, but I mean, sort of spoilers, not really. He's been stuck in a coma for like the last 3 seasons, so they've all been like imagining what's been going on. So it's been a weird fetch on Archer, a bit different. But apparently season 11 is going to take it back to its roots and might actually be the end. So it's like a nice ending for it. But you know, it's nice to see that Archer's still got a big fan base and getting renewed. Other thing is obviously Rick and Morty season 4 news and a bit of a clips for that as well. We did see a lot of that. That's some big stuff there. A lot of people are interested in that. I believe it's coming in November as well. So
yeah, and season 5 is coming apparently very shortly after season 4. This is according. I don't know if Justin Roiland said that or what's his name?
Dan Harmon.
I can't remember which one said that. Someone said that though. Someone said that.
Mm-hmm. There was also a lot of information and a trailer for Netflix's The Witcher TV series, which is based on the Witcher books and the game. So, it does look really good, I must say. The Witcher's a beautiful game, and it's one of the best games that you could play RPG-wise. And it does fit more into something that could be akin to making a movie or TV series out of, rather than something like Skyrim. So I am actually looking forward to this, and I think it's going to be really good. I feel like it's going to fill that hole of Game of Thrones in a way, now that that's not there anymore. And also after how awfully it ended, I'm still not over that. Yeah, I'm still pissed.
Still pissed. I can really hear the pissed offness in your voice then.
Yeah. Another thing for horror fans, if you're a fan of horror, specifically older horror films, there was 2 new Halloween movies announced as well.
Oh, yo, I was gassed when I heard that like Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. I was like, yo, are they really gonna try and finish and make an actual Halloween trilogy this time, like a real one, not the bullshit one that we got back in the day? I can't wait, man. It's gonna be sick. That other Halloween film wasn't too bad, you know.
Yeah,
so like, it wasn't too bad. Like, it could have been better, but like, it wasn't too bad though.
Can only get better. Another thing that was shown off is the His Dark Materials trailer. Now, it does look beautiful. It looks really good. It's got Lin-Manuel Miranda in it as well, the GOAT. So, it's gonna be good. But you might remember it from a film that came out in the early 2000s called The Golden Compass.
I remember The Golden Compass. Yeah. So
it's based upon that's the trilogy. Is called His Dark Materials, and Golden Compass is one of the books in that trilogy. I think it's a trilogy.
So wait, so are they just redoing all the books then?
Yeah, so it's basically BBC in partnership with HBO are making His Dark Materials, which we spoke about a little bit before, but
yeah,
we've actually got the trailers for it now. So it's got James McAvoy in it and Lin-Manuel Miranda. There's a lot of good people in it. And it's based on the books by Philip Pullman, which I've just mentioned, and still can't find out if it's a trilogy or not. But it is going to be on air for a minimum of 2 seasons. So it's debuting in fall this year. We've already seen it. Does look really good. The special effects look pretty good for something that's in partnership with the BBC as well. So HBO have obviously put a lot of budget into this as well. But
yeah,
it is set in Britain, I believe, or some of it's set in Britain.
I thought it was anyway. I think the Golden Compass was set in like an English setting anyway, so that's not too surprising in my opinion.
Yeah, so hence why the BBC is partnered with this, but it does look like a really good thing. It looks like it's going to sort of, I don't know, fill a gap maybe for something like Narnia that we haven't seen in a while. It's very Narnia-esque in a way, or possibly a little bit like Harry Pottery, but not. You know, it falls into that section of kid-friendly. I can't think of the word, but like kid-friendly. I don't know. It's not really sci-fi, but kid-friendly fantasy.
Yeah, just call it kid-friendly fantasy, and it's like that kind of like magical stuff, but like not too. Basically, not too magical. Like it's kind of hard to explain. Like, but yeah. Anyway, and some other things as well that we need to roll off, especially now. Westworld looks sick. Yeah, I don't know what's going. I don't know what's going on. I said Nazis. What the hell's going on? Like, I do not know what's going on, but Westworld looks like we're definitely going to be looking at some different shit. Like, I'm glad that like. I'm kind of sad that we're not going to see some of the other worlds, but who's to not say that they're not other worlds? Like, Westworld is much bigger than we thought it was. So, I don't know. But the trailer itself looks so interesting, and it looks so good, like, I can't wait. I definitely can't wait, yeah. It's going to be amazing.
It does get better and better. It's not going to be back until 2020, unfortunately, but we do know that Game of Thrones isn't there anymore now, so it's hard to say when it's going to come back, but it's probably going to come back around mid-2020, which is unfortunate because I sort of wanted it to come around January, but we might find out that it will come in January, we don't know, but mid-2020 is looking the likely area for that. There is one more thing that I did see.
Same as well, like I seen things. There's a even though I don't really like it, I haven't really watched it. I heard that It Chapter 2 trailer is amazing. I heard it's supposed to be sick.
Yeah,
I heard it's really creepy, and I've just heard really great things about that film. Like,
that film was incredible. Probably one of the best horror films that I've seen. You know, I think it's more just how they did it. It was a very good film, and I'm very looking forward to part 2. The cast's very good as well.
Who did that? Who does it? Someone.
Do you mean who wrote it, or who?
Yeah. Who wrote it?
Stephen King. So, a great author, one of the best horror authors of all time.
No, I mean, I know Stephen King did it. I mean, who's doing the film? Who's doing this film?
Oh, who's in the film?
No, who's done the film? Like, who shot it? Like, who directed it?
Oh, who directs it?
And who, like, produced it?
Very hard to search that on Google, because if you search It Director, it comes up IT Director, which is not what I wanted. Andres Muschietti, Argentine film director. Best known for directing the 2013 horror film Mama and the 2017 adaptation of It. So he's not done too much, to be fair.
He's only done Mama, and Mama was alright. Like, that's weird. It's like, that's a really like short track record. But either way, the film's like
it's really
like,
good.
It's widely like acclaimed by a lot of people, saying that like it's a really, really good like a visual version of the book and stuff like that. So
I would definitely say that. The book, I mean, I don't really want to compare books and films. Like, I was going to say the book's better, but I don't want to say that because they're very different.
You're never ever going to get the same. Just as how we're getting the Shining like sequel this year, like, or next year. Like, but that is a sequel to the film, though.
Yeah, but then
not to the book, because the book is very different.
It should be said that Stephen King didn't like the first Shining film anyway, so...
Nah, he didn't like the Stanley Kubrick version, but obviously Stanley Kubrick went crazy on that film, and he totally took it to another place. Like, he wasn't like the book. So,
one final thing, which I think there's just the one final thing. Might be a few little things that we've missed, but just one final thing is that if you're a Star Wars fan and you've known about like the new trilogy for a long time, and when it first came out, everyone was like, what are these Knights of Ren? What's this? You know, the Knights of Ren, they look really cool. When the fuck are we going to see them? Well, there's going to be a comic series coming out titled The Rise of Kylo Ren, which actually talks about how the Knights of Ren, you know, the story behind the Knights of Ren. So while we might see him in the new film, they are going to be in this comic series. So it's not really the same, but it does look like it's going to be a pretty cool comic series. Sort of like Rogue Ninjas, assassin, Jedis, or Siths. It looks cool.
Or whatever,
looks like a cool comic.
It just like, it looks cool anyway, and obviously like these are supposed to be his like friends in it, so it's going to be interesting to see like who these people are and like why did Kylo Ren decide to, like, you know, like why did he decide to have this like band of like assassins with him? Like, it is true. This it's just really hard because like I just feel like the Star Wars like franchise at the moment is just really hard to follow again. Like, it's just got like a bit difficult. Like I know it's like sounds a little bit stupid, but do you feel like that sometimes where you feel like there's just a lot of things like, and I just want to know how they're gonna kind of connect it all together now? Like,
not really, because it was sort of like that before anyway, but it wasn't canon. But I personally, I like the way they're doing stuff because they're sort of, in a way, they are closing the gap. Like, they're bringing everything back to one focal point again, which it wasn't. A little bit down to Disney, a little bit down to Lucasfilm, but, you know, they're bringing that all back into one point. This is going to be a 4-part mini-series issued by Marvel. Launches this December, and it's written by Charles Soule, who writes a lot of other Star Wars comics, so he knows what he's doing. He writes very good comics.
Exactly, so he knows the material, so that's yeah, that's good.
So I'm looking forward to this. If I can get the chance to get it, I probably will, because it looks like it's going to be a pretty cool comic series.
Cool.
Moving on to Marvel announcements.
Yeah, because time is just running with us. Like, we've just been, even though we said we didn't have a lot to talk about, like, we padded it out a lot with
we do
in the gaming section. Yeah, so but yeah, so Phase 4, there's not even really much to say about Phase 4 now, other than like
it is the first phase that includes TV shows.
Yes, it's the first phase, because obviously now that Disney's locked down their streaming service and they've locked down all these different licenses and stuff, they're finally now going to include TV series, which also makes me feel a little bit strange though, because like I feel like they're now gonna try and hold off on films for a lot longer now, because they're gonna say like the TV series are replacement for the films.
Which don't mind that though.
Which isn't bad, like, and which isn't, you know, a sad thing, but at the same time, like, it's just like, it's sad. Yeah, to say I don't want a Hawkeye TV series, and I wouldn't really watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier or WandaVision. I'd probably only watch Loki, like, if I'm being honest, and the What If series. And how can the What If series be a part of Phase 4 anyway? Because the What If series,
I don't understand.
That is a what if. Like, that is just, if this happened, this is what would it, like. I don't understand things like that, but maybe the What If series can be, because they're going with this whole.
We don't know.
They're going with this whole multiverse thing right now, aren't they? Like, Doctor Strange's title tells us that the multiverse is going to cause problems, because it's called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So is meaning to tell me that Doctor Strange is going to have something to do with the multiverse. Again, he's going to be important in maybe bridging the gap again, like back with the multiverses, or making sense of the multiverse. I don't know.
I feel like that shows that, yeah, there's more stuff coming multiverse-wise, but also it shows that that film is going to include a lot of cast as well. It's not going to be a single Doctor Strange film. It's going to be something akin to Captain America Civil War, where everyone is in it, but it's got a title of a Captain America film. So
yeah. Well,
I feel like that's the Avengers for this phase as such, maybe.
Well, you said all of that, but it's weird because you have to watch WandaVision first, because Doctor Strange is a tie-in with WandaVision. So if you don't watch WandaVision, you won't understand what's going on in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Okay,
so basically it's just a really good ploy by Disney to make you buy into their
streaming service. Yeah,
it makes sense.
It makes sense. But at the same time,
it's not ideal, but it does make sense.
I think at the same time, it isn't an ideal thing, and I think that it can be. I think that it's not really a great thing to do to some of the fans who only can afford to watch the films every now and again. I think like now tying it to a streaming service can cause issues for people who only would want to go and watch the film, because they might be confused.
Should point out Disney's streaming service is very cheap compared to competitors, though. So
yeah,
it does even itself out in that sense. Also, it does allow people to watch it in their own time. There is benefits to it, and like you said, there is downfalls to it. Personally, I don't mind it. I think it's a nice thing. Should also point out that I think this is the first time that the phase lasts for just 2 years. If you notice, it only covers 2 years, whereas previously it's normally three or more years.
Yeah, that's because they're doing a lot less films in this one, and they're doing
because they're TV series.
Yeah, and they got the TV series, and obviously like this, like WandaVision, like yeah, it's gonna get sticky because obviously there's going to be a bunch of shows that you need to watch in order to understand the story, which is, as I said, like it's just what Disney. We knew Disney were going to do that. That's why they pulled all their shows from Netflix, and that's why they wanted to make sure that it's known that these TV series are going to be tied in with the mainline films. So,
well, it's going to be WandaVision is going to be set after Endgame. So it's a very important series. Yes, that's sort of saying you have to get a service to watch it. However, there's no reason to say why you can't pay $5.99 for a month, watch it, and then not do it. It's the same as going to a cinema and paying £8 to watch a film. Like, you pay $5.99 a month, you watch that whole series in that month in your own time, and then you don't do your subscription the next month. Yeah, it does work out, like, you know, it's different because it's not in a cinema, but I don't think it's as bad as, you know, what it seems, because you can easily get it for a month, watch it, and then not renew it. So, and that's the same as sort of going to a cinema, really, price wise, anyway. So I don't think it's too bad. Films I am looking forward to, though, personally, I am looking forward to the Black Widow solo film. It's a sequel to Captain America Civil War and a prequel to Avengers Infinity War. So, you know, this is where we're going to be jumping around in time now with the Marvel stuff. We're going to be jumping around in time with the Marvel stuff. We're going to be jumping in different universes with the Marvel stuff.
You got it.
It's going to get interesting but confusing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think they need to clearly explain to people that some of the films that you're going to see are not going to be set in the same universes, or otherwise people are going to get so confused. Like, because they're going to be thinking like, oh, why is this happening? I just think that, yeah, as long as it's clear enough Well, it should all be fine, really. But yeah, with Phase 4, did you say all the films in Phase 4?
There's Black Widow coming in 2020, then the Eternals,
Yep.
then Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings in 2021, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness in 2021,
Yep. Hard.
and then my favourite from the art that's been released, Thor: Love and Thunder in 2021. And
That's
also,
going to be interesting.
yeah, also, there has been female Thor confirmed as well. So
Yeah, it's going to be...
yeah,
Well, essentially, Natalie Portman's going to be Mighty Thor, which is like... Because obviously he like... Well, this is just the story that's going around, obviously from the comics. I'm assuming that Thor must be Thor the Unworthy now, innit? So, if he's Thor the Unworthy, that means he can't pick up Thor's hammer anymore. So, this is what I was having a conversation with my manager about this, and this is what he told me. He was like, yeah, he can't pick up his hammer anymore, but Jane becomes Thor because she can. Like, but every time she turns into Thor, she kind of kills herself. So I'm going to be. It's going to be kind of interesting to see as well. A lot of people hated Natalie Portman as well in the older Thor films, so it'll be interesting to see.
a lot of people that I've seen were happy that Natalie Portman was coming back. I think it was maybe the fact that the role she played in the older Thor films didn't really do anything, but now she might have a proper role.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think that maybe people will like it. People are really happy that Tessa Thompson's back as Valkyrie and things like that. So, yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be crazy, and that's also the 5th and final installment of Phase 4. So, meaning that must be a really important film to end on. So,
yeah, I'm also, the artwork for it is beautiful. Like,
yeah, it's really hard.
It reminds me, if you haven't seen it, just Google it, go look for it now on Twitter or, Google, you'll find it straight away. Thor: Love and Thunder. Reminds me of He-Man and Thundercats, like, straight off the bat, and I sort of love that, and I love this, and I really hope that, Ragnarok was pretty cool, stylistic-wise. So it seems like the Thor films are the stuff that they're just going to keep doing random shit with stylistic wise. And I don't care about that. They can do it because it's cool. Guardians of the Galaxy is the music. Thor's the style. I don't mind that. I think it's cool to have that differentiation in films as well.
I think all the Marvel films have their own unique, thing like, everyone's like super excited because they want, like, music fans are excited because they want to know if Kendrick Lamar's going to do Black Panther 2, the soundtrack, and everyone's like, oh, what's that going to sound like? It's an exciting thing at the moment. Like, every Marvel film has its own lane, and it has its own, like, thing that goes along with it that will make people excited for different reasons. And I think it's going to be great. I just don't want to hear people just like get pissed off at the fact that Thor is going to be like a woman or something now. Like, that is real. That isn't a comic. Like, it's a storyline that actually happens. Like, if you're pissed off about that, then just don't watch the film, innit? Like, I don't really understand what your problem is.
We'll see when it comes round to it. But there's a few more things we need to talk about. I think we can probably save some for another time, but there's one quick thing because we are running out of time for this section again. There's one more thing related to Comic-Con that I just want to speak about quickly, and that's a new trailer for DC's Harley Quinn show is here, which is a sort of 18 plus mature animated show based on Harley Quinn and the Gotham universe. So, it does contain explicit language, adult themes, and violence. And it looks pretty fucking awesome. Because it just looks like the cartoons you used to watch as a kid. But it's got like that Boondocks feel to it as well. It looks cool. I'm down for this. I'm down to watch this. It is only on DCUniverse.com. However, saying that, other stuff has been previously only on DCUniverse.com and come to Netflix, such as Titans. So I hope this comes to Netflix.
Also, you just said that Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans was announced as well.
Was it?
Yeah. There was I think a trailer was shown. You can't see it at the moment, but a trailer was shown at Comic-Con. Let me just, apparently it's really good. It's coming out soon. Teen Titans Go versus...
Speaking of trailers that were shown but couldn't be taught out while you're looking into that, should be noted that the upcoming Avengers game, which is being made by Square Enix, or published by Square Enix, you could say, upcoming Avengers game had another trailer that was revealed at Comic-Con, and I think a tiny little bit of gameplay was showed in that trailer. However, that trailer is not publicly available, but it will be shown at Gamescom in early to mid-August and will be made available then. So there's more details on that coming. Some people know what it is already, but they probably can't say anything. And some people have seen that trailer, but you can't see it on the internet. But it is going to be coming to Gamescom in August as well. So, that more details for that game are coming.
Yeah, I remember you did tell me that it's going to be secret. Also, a Walking Dead film as well is coming, but it's coming to cinemas, or theaters, and after a few months, it will be available on AMC or Netflix if they get the streaming rights for the Walking Dead film. So, yeah. Oh, there's also a third Untitled series that is coming as well, which is will follow the story of the first generation kids who grew up during the zombie apocalypse. And Fear the Walking Dead 6th season was announced on Friday. Huh? Need more Walking Dead? You got it.
Moving on. I don't know. I've never really got into Walking Dead. It just seems a bit, though, like they are saturating the market with it. Zombies have always been a saturated thing anyway, but, like, goddamn, just fucking make something new, man.
I know. It is really, really bad, but it's just, it's getting more and more, like, just out. It's just, I don't know. I never ever got into it, but it's something I will maybe get into, though. I didn't even know about this. The Doom Patrol. Have you ever watched it?
No.
But it's got a season 2 coming out. That actually has Cyborg in there. Like, that's Cyborg's crew, I'm sure Doom Patrol is. So, yeah, season 2 of that is coming out and is coming on HBO Max and the DC, like, Universe app thing as well. So, yeah, look out for that.
That was something that I wanted to watch because it fit into Titans, but I haven't got around to watching it yet because Cyborg is not in Titans.
Yeah, he isn't in Titans. No, he isn't. He's in the Doom Patrol instead. So, yeah, but he will be a part of the Titans, though. Well, he should be, eventually. And then he becomes part of Justice League. But
possibly. We'll see.
We'll see.
See what happens with that.
Yeah, anyway, time is running on. We're going to have to nail down this music section, and we're going to leave some things out as well, probably. I'm just going to run down quickly of the new releases of so far. Blood Orange, Angel's Pulse, 10 out of 10, amazing. The Lion King, The Gift by Beyonce is okay. I don't really know what else to say about it.
It's like, pretty good.
You think it's pretty good? I just thought it was okay. I haven't listened to it fully yet. I like the Childish Gambino song with Jay-Z. I thought that was cool.
That's a very good song.
I like the Kenny song. The Kendrick song's really good.
It's a nice homage or reference to the Lion King film, whilst also being different in itself. But it pays respects to that, and I like that. I like the fact that we're getting these
soundtracks,
albums based off.
Yeah.
Not even a soundtrack, really. It's an album based off the film with inspiration, but it's like an alternative soundtrack. Like, I like that. I think that's a cool thing to do. I'd love to see more of these.
Well, so far, like, it seems to be like only like Game of Thrones did it. Tyler did it with the Grinch.
Game of Thrones one was trash.
Yeah, the Game of Thrones one was really trash.
Like the TV series.
Tyler did it with the Grinch, and it was amazing. That was like a Christmas album that was so good. Kendrick, obviously, Black Panther, that was Grammy nominated. Grammy Award winning. Sorry. So like, I
can't remember who did the one for what was it called?
Despicable Me essentially was a Pharrell album every time.
Yeah. I can't remember what the film was.
Why is that?
I can't remember.
Oh, The Greatest Showman.
No, not The Greatest Showman.
No, but that had an album that remixed all the songs. So like it was like a new album, like, and it had like, I guess it kind of wasn't as show tuney as it was before. Like they tried to like make it more modern, put like a little bit of hip hop in there, a little bit of R&B, a little bit of dancey pop music in there. Do you know what I mean? Like try and break it up. I'm trying to think. What film are you trying to think of? Is it recent?
Yeah, it's relatively recent. It's about a pimp that has money, and this I can't remember. Begins with an S. But I can't think of...
Oh, Superfly.
Yeah, that's it.
Superfly. Yeah. So, yeah. Superfly was good.
Yeah, the soundtrack to that.
Yeah, that was a Future album, basically. It had 2 discs.
Yeah.
It had 2 discs as well. Yeah, it's a Future album, basically. So, yeah, that was cool.
So I like that. I like the fact that that's becoming more of a thing now. And even the fact that, like, some of the soundtracks aren't necessarily soundtracks for the film, really. It's like a alternative soundtrack. Like, I like that. I think that's cool. Something I dig. So
yeah,
I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah, same. I do really need to sit down and listen to the Beyonce album a lot more. I only skimmed over the songs I thought I'd like, and listened to those. So go peep that. If you're a Beyonce fan, you're a fan of just good music, really, in general. The Lion King original soundtrack, various artists, obviously. That's just the actual soundtrack for the film. So that's why Hans Zimmer, I think it's just Hans Zimmer, is returned to do this soundtrack.
Yeah, it's Hans Zimmer. JD McCrae, who plays young Simba.
We've got
Gambino.
A new hit from Elton on there. So that's sick. Also the Lost Tapes 2 by Nas. These are just songs and stuff that this tape's been coming something mad, like 20 something years in the making. This tape has, and then Nas on IG Live announced Lost Tapes 3 and 4 is on the way as well. So he's going to be basically he's trying to release his back catalogue right now, like of all these old songs that like just never got released. So
Burn and Family, track number 2, is fucking insane. It's a very, very good song. No surprise, Pharrell produced, but very good song.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to think. Willow by Willow is a surprise album. I had no idea this came out, seeing as Jaden just released his. So Willow by Willow, it's really good.
Only produced this, solely produced by Jaden and Tyler Cole.
Really?
No one else. Yeah, apparently.
Oh shit!
So
props to Jaden and Tyler Cole.
It's not the best album I've ever listened to, but it's okay. You can hear the Jaden influence, and you can hear the Tyler Cole influence, and you can hear Willow.
I just like Willow's voice. I just think she's really good. Like I've always thought she's a great singer. I felt like she like has a chance to become like an Erykah Badu like type figure, but like she just chills a lot in it. So
yeah, she whips her hair back and forth too much. That's the problem. And we've got One Wave, which is the new project by J1.
Class of Deja and Trouble by Kano, off a new Kano album that is coming very soon. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but really like Kano. Amazing lyricist.
I think I listened to this song.
Did you listen to it?
Yeah, I did. I listened to both of the songs. I think it's Class of Deja. If it's the track that's first on the album, I think it's like track number 3.
There's one with D-double-E on there. And who else? He's got Gets on there as well. I think it's D-double-E and Gets on one song, because everyone was like, oh, this is sick, like Kano, D-double-E and Gets all on one song. Like, this has never happened before. Like, this is old school grime all on one song. So, like...
I think it's Class of Deja. I think I prefer that song. But they're both very good songs. It's looking like a promising project.
Also, remember, Top Boy Season 3, soon. So like that is also in like promotion, because Kano is going to be in it. So
is Drake not playing anyone?
We don't know if Drake's playing anyone yet. We don't know if Drake is going to be anybody in Top Boy. We just know that he like is bankrolling it. So I don't know what he's going to be doing in there, but we know that Deshane...
Drake's playing the up and coming basketball star from Toronto.
I know Drake's gonna put himself as some corny like mafia like boss or something in it, like, or like yo man's the plugs, right? Something like that. I'm like, no, Drake, you're not the plug. Wiley had a new song out. He's also got a new album on the way as well. Mist released a new song as well, called So High. Puffy L's has got a new project out from Canada, Toronto, Mandem, called Take No L's. Also, Maxo Cream's new album is out now. Brandon Banks. And I know that's going to be hard, because I've been waiting for Maxo Cream's debut album to come out for years. So that's going to be good. And I think there is somebody else that has dropped as well this week that I can't quite think and put my like finger on. I know somebody else has just come out this week. I need to make sure. No, I think that's everything.
There is one more album that I don't think you've mentioned, and that is if I can find it, which I can't. So yeah, I don't know. That's it. Yeah, it's
I remembered Kano's album. Kano's album's out on August the 30th. It's called Hoodies All Summer. So yeah, there we go.
Una Rogue. That album has just come out as well. It's a very nice R&B album. She's a Malaysian R&B artist. Very highly rated album. It's getting good reviews. The Una album is it's pretty good. It's good. I like that Tyler song that was on there. It's quite different. Yeah, it's got some decent features on there. So there is that. Album of this week for me, though, album of the last 2 weeks for me, probably Blood Orange. Probably hands down Blood Orange. Yeah,
Angel's Pulse is too hard. I've been listening to that way too much. Dark and Handsome is amazing. I remember when he performed that with Toro. It's the gold teeth with like 3-6 Mafia on there. That's so hard. Like where did he get 3-6 Mafia from? Like how did he get them on a track? Like that's just insane.
But shout outs to Birmingham.
Yeah,
he included a song called Birmingham.
Well, he's originally English, isn't it? Like he's an English guy, isn't it? Like he born and raised.
He's not originally English. He is English.
Well, just because he lives in America now, and he lives in New York. He's British. Yeah, he's originally British. Oh, also he had Jober on here as well, which is weird.
That was weird.
And Arca and Benny Revival. Do you know who Benny Revival is from Twitter? The weird guy who dresses up in like the masks and stuff.
Yeah.
He had him on here doing a rap verse. Like so weird. Like. But,
I gotta give a shout out though to Ian Isaiah, because that guy is one of the most underrated vocalists ever. God damn, I don't know how the fuck he does some of that shit. Like, some of those notes that he's hitting, and he's perfectly in tune, and my man's just like head gospel singer for the world. Like, shout out Ian Isaiah, because, you know, he makes I don't know, he's always on the Blood Orange like projects, and he makes the sound what it is. He helps to make the sound what it is. It's not all him, you know. Dev Hynes plays a big part in everything, a massive part in everything. But Ian Isaiah really helps bring that sound that sort of, I don't know, fits in together with the style and sound they're trying to make. And he's a big part of that. And
he's hard as well. Like, if you like search him, like his style, he's just sick. Like, he's got such a sick, unique style. Like, I have never seen someone like this before.
Yeah, I mean, shout out Ian Isaiah.
Shout out to him, man. Like, it's just.
And if you think that's auto-tune, go watch the Tiny Desk of Blood Orange when Ian Isaiah is there, and you'll see that guy is fucking talented. Like, not even like talented, like madly talented. But yeah, you know, that's it. We have limited time left, so.
Oh wait, hold on. A day ago, Ian Isaiah just dropped a mixtape. Go cop that. It's called Sugar Sex Tape.
Sounds like my sort of thing.
So go cop that. He just literally fresh. He's just dropped this tape because he's working on his first album. So yeah, just go and cop that. Yeah, that's insane. That he actually. Oh, and he also designs Hood by Air. I did not know he was behind Hood by Air.
Yeah, he's dropping sugary sex tapes, but we've got limited time left. Something that is dropping this Friday, July 26th. It's been in the works for a long time. Chance the Rapper's debut album, The Big Day. People have been giving him shit about it. I don't know why. Yeah, fair enough. Chance did cancel on another show somewhere, which is apparently a thing that he's known for. He's a serial canceller. He drops out of a lot of shows. Okay, fair enough. Apparently he's not as nice as he makes out in public image. Apparently he's a little bit stuck up. But, you know, all rumours. Either way, his album The Big Day is coming out this Friday, July 26th. From what we've heard, it sounds pretty fucking cool. The artwork, I don't know. Don't know about the artwork. But it is coming. We covered, I believe, last episode, or last show, that 10 Day and Acid Rap are on streaming services for the first time. Or the show before that. So, you know, his back catalogue is on streaming services. Go listen to that if you want to get ready. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's his first proper album. In my opinion, as much as I love 10 Day and Acid Rap, he did get better with Chance 3. Colouring Book, that's just my personal opinion. Going back and listening to it now, you can see the progression to more of a defined artist as such, rather than, you know, back in the mixtape days. So I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be more of a professional project from him, but it is going to be good. What are your opinions on that? You looking forward to Chance's album?
Yeah, I am looking forward to Chance's album because I think that it's going to be a good opportunity for him to try and show what he can do outside of like the mixtape like realm thing. Like, I don't know, I'm just looking forward to seeing what kind of style he's gonna go for, and the production and the features, and what does he have to say with this album, basically, or this project. Like, his debut album is a long time coming. This is a man who just only released 3 mixtapes, and it took so long to get the third Chance project from him. and now we're getting an album a lot sooner than later in it. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for it. Yeah, also, I didn't really say this, but I did say this, but Yandy OG version of it is out there somewhere, so go find it. Also, Kyoto Animation. This is a really sad this is really sad. 34 people lost their lives tragically on the 21st of July, I believe. And yeah, it was an amazing animation studio located in Kyoto, Japan. And or KyoAni is what the studio was nicknamed amongst fans. Yeah, this is just really a sad blow for the anime industry, and the Japanese community were very affected by this, and people in that area were affected, and the families, partners, students, like anybody that had a connection to this studio, like, will be so affected by this, because I heard it was an amazing studio that really tried to shine a light upon female animators and try and give them a voice to tell their kind of stories, like an anime that they would like to watch, rather than the typical stuff that usually comes out in anime. So you'll see a lot more animes like Free and things like that. They were produced by Kyoto Animation, and those are animes that were more geared towards girls, because they had a lot more of like a full male cast. They were quite scantily clad in some things. They'll be doing things like swimming or something, like, you know, like stuff where like it's a bit sporty. And yeah, they also made a big famous show called K-On!, which was the famous like musical like show with like the girl band who were like that was really, really popular, and it still is popular today in Japan. Other like things like Lucky Star, The Melancholy of Shizumiya Haruki. They also have a really famous film, I think, as well on Netflix. I can't remember what the name is. Can't remember what the name is, but anyway, Kyoto Animation, they did a lot of great things, and also they created an environment where people could feel that they were themselves and could produce this kind of content for themselves and for people who would enjoy it. And I just think it's really sad that this happened, and I'm glad that the person who did it has been captured, so we can have an opportunity to talk to people like this and why did they do it, and so they can have, you know, the justice and, you know, the proper recourse that is going to happen to them as a person. So yeah, just condolences to the family, and rest in peace to all the people who lost their lives in the Kyoto Animation fire.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about that, but I resonate the fact that you said. I also, you know, condolences to everyone that was involved in that. There's no place for it. I think the movie you were looking for is called A Silent Voice.
Yes, A Silent Voice. Yeah.
So if you want to go and look at some of the work that some of those people did, is great work as well, then A Silent Voice is a very good movie to go watch by them. Sort of moving on towards the end, just quickly, well, that was a bit downhearted. Just want to say that, you know, we're upbeat in it. Want to sort of, you know, push you to go follow our social media pages. That's 808s and Joysticks on Instagram, 808s and Joystick on Twitter. You can also find us on Facebook, and you can go to 808sandjoysticks.com to see all our details as well. And also, just a bit of a, you know, heads up on that. Stay tuned very closely to all our social media channels, and you will be finding out some very important information about our future soon, and very exciting information as well.
Yep, for sure. And this time we mean it. I know we've been working for a while on things, but this time we mean it. It's just been a lot. Like life is really hard. Like after like uni took up so much time, now we're just adults. Like it's just a bit weird. So yes, soon And this is basically us signing off right now. So 808s and Joysticks. See you guys later. Hope we have a good time.
If you liked any of the music in today's show, then please check the credits in the description to see what songs we used.